What's up, guys? It is Monday, June 12th. It's 9:18 a.m. and this is going to be the crypto market update and covering some key macro charts that we used to cover a lot back in December of 2022, back in January of 2023, and back in February of 2023. And these charts really gave us a competitive advantage in identifying when the bull rally was going to kick off and when the bear market was going to be over. So we're going to check back in on those charts to get a good gauge as to where we're at for this bull run that I believe is on the way. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment and a like. Let us know what altcoins you would like for us to cover in the next video. So diving right into it, we're going to start off with the bond yields and we're going to keep it light on this because we still have that 1 month sell now signal for the Stargate signals on the bond yields right now for this monthly candle. We still have 18 days left for this candle to close. So we're going to have to see if the momentum can continue down in the stock RSI and the TSI and for the MACD to flip red, because we could be at like an equivalent this moment back December 2018, right before we start to roll over with bond yields. So in comparison right here, right before we start to roll over. So we're going to have to see how this pans out. But this is the first time in a very long time we're above the 200 moving average in the bond yields since back 1985. We're above the 200 moving average in 1985. We were below it this whole time. And since 2022 in May, we've been above it. So it's definitely critical for us to get rejected at that 786 level, 3.894, which is right here. So from the high here down to the low, 786, 3.894, that's the level we want to get rejected at. And then ultimately we want to roll back down below 3.6%. So now let's go into the dollar. Let's see where we're at on that. Let's go to the weekly chart. So the weekly chart right now is starting to see the stock RSI curl over. So we've been comparing it to this time, the same time frame as March 13th, 2023. And it's shaping up to be that way because back March 13th, we saw the pink leading up to it go up. And then on the first kind of descending of that pink line was when we started to roll over in the dollar. And then leading up to June 13th, as of tomorrow, we've had that pink go up and we've had that come down now. So in conjunction with the stock RSI rolling over like back then on the weekly chart, that's what we're seeing right now. And we're seeing the MACD lose its steam and the TSI is below the zero line. So those are clear signs that we're still bearish in the dollar and the RSI is now below the 50 line on the weekly chart. So we're seeing a lot of signs that the dollar is about to roll over. We definitely just need to break that 103.22 level, which is where the super guppy is right there holding us as support right now. And that's kind of critical area support. If we pull out a horizontal line, drag it up a little bit, that's where once we broke from this point, we went down. Once we got above, we went up. Once we broke from this point, we went down. Once we got above, and we're holding it right now. But it does seem like it's similar to back during that time period where we start to roll over like this. And we're at the beginning stages. And what comes next, I believe, is actually we break these lows here and then go on a lower low this time around. And we've identified this as a potential scenario. One more bounce in the dollar, test the 786. And then ultimately we roll over at that point and we find a new low in the dollar. And that's what we've done so far. We came right up to that 786 and it does look like we're rolling over and the steam is dying out here. Even looking at the Heikin Ashi candle chart, we're seeing the first red candle here. Same kind of scenario back here at March 13th. And we have the same kind of scare moment as well too. So that's what I'm seeing on that front. Now let's go to the NASDAQ 100. So we're at 14,600. We are in the midst of the hot zone. So we have this fib levels line up here. So we have the 4236 breakout extension. We have the 1618 extension. We have the 786 on the micro fib. And we're above that right now. So if we can keep pressing on up, we get above 15,000, we're basically really getting out of this potential danger zone where we can get rejected and just roll back over. And if we can get above here, hold that support, then it's looking very nice for a stock market blow off rally. You can even see it on the 1 day time frame, that key level 15,000 getting above there will be very solid. But right now we do see on the 1-day chart, the momentum is coming out here. The TSI is rolling over. We have the MACD rolling over. We have the pink coming down. We do have the stock RSI though, crossing back up. So if this stock RSI can cross back up and get above this 50 line, then ultimately I believe the MACD will save itself. The TSI will save itself. The pink will come back up and we'll keep on chugging away. So really the next day or two is very critical as far as the stock market goes and kind of where we can end up. Are we going to get rejected right here, roll back over, or are we just going to shoot up through it and then continue on and get above that 15,000 line? This is probably going to be the week that decides that. So this is the key macro chart that we were covering back earlier this year and late last year. It's the USDT plus USDC against the total crypto market cap. And right now, when we broke this moving average and we came down and broke below the 200 moving average here, this is when the cryptos went off. The skyrocketed in January. We want this chart to fall. And then back here, March 13th, we had the pop up here, and that's that scary moment. Then once we rolled over, we had saw the cryptos pop off. Then we most recently came up here, same similar scenario to back here, and cryptos have rolled over, and we need to see this roll over so cryptos can pop back off. So let's take a look at where we're at as far as some key levels. We do have this one up here, which is the 1618 and 3618. So 1618 right here, 3618 right here. And we have the 200 moving average coming down right here as well too. So that is sitting around a little bit higher, just a tiny bit higher, about 3% higher right over there. We got rejected on it on the first try. Right now we held this 200 moving average as support. So maybe we'll come back up, give it another try, ultimately get rejected, and then have a very sharp rejection here. That's what we want to see at the very least. So let's go to the weekly chart. Let's look at the momentum there. We do see that the stock RSI is crossed up, the TSI is crossed up, MACD is rising, but we are not yet above that zero line. So everything is all good for the moment. We don't want to see that get above there. We really do want to see us get a rejection here this week and not have candle body closes on the weekly above this super guppy here. If we want to see us get rejected back down, we really want to see the cryptos as a collective have a strong kind of relief bounce this week, which will ultimately have this roll over. And then we ultimately kind of want to come back down and break this trend line. So getting back below here will be the seal of the deal, I think, in my opinion. So if we grab this bars pattern and compare it. So let's see if we've done the allotted amount of time. So yeah, we've already done the allotted amount of time. Honestly, we're supposed to roll over back here on May. We had, a wrench thrown in that. But yeah, as far as this goes, we could stretch this out to actually be a little bit bigger. And we could chalk it up to say, hey, we're at the moment right before. So we had this tank, we come back down, then we roll back up. This is supposedly at the level, we touched the level that we needed to touch in comparison to back here with this pattern. So yeah, definitely we want to see us get rejected here. And then if we grab this trend line from the top here, connect it to this wick, and we bring it down, yeah, we touched it already. So we're right at that level where we saw in December, we got rejected from this level. We saw cryptos take off. Then March, we got rejected at this level. We saw cryptos take off. Right now, we've seen one rejection, and so far, we've had a wick up to here and got rejected. If we see this roll over, cryptos are going to really take off and find its bottom right here. So that's what I'm watching on those fronts. Then this is the NASDAQ versus Bitcoin. And for this, we want to see this roll over as well, too, because when we rolled over here in late November, we rolled over and just did a tiny drawdown. That's what really brought Bitcoin up. So this compares the stock market versus Bitcoin. So if this is going up, the stock market is outperforming Bitcoin. If this is going down, Bitcoin's outperforming the stock market. And where we're at right now is the 786. So we have this high down to this low. We're right at that 786. We're actually have the candle above it right now. But we're at this key moment where we see the TSI crossing in. What we want to see is not a cross up, but like one of those moves where it looks like it's gonna, but then it comes back down, because we're right at that zero line as well too. That's why I believe these next 7 days are going to be critical to deciding like how soon we kick off this bull market, because I believe if we roll over down below the zero line in this chart, this is where the hyper boom kicks in. And I believe we'll shoot on out of these lows quicker than you could expect if that's the case. So definitely want to come down, roll over from this point. The 1 week chart, we want to see that cross down. Right now, we actually are getting rejected from this yellow line here, which is 200 moving average. And it does look like we're curling back down. It looks like the moment right before we have a huge sell-off like back here, which was the whole bull market of 2020 to 2021. So it does look like we're in this moment where you're seeing the moving average here. We broke above it here. And then once we broke below it, we found rejection at that point. And then we started to roll over. And that was the start of the huge bull market. So we broke above it here. We started to go above. We broke below it here. We're at our first point where we need to get rejected. We could pop up, get rejected by this one. But we definitely want to see a rejection here, roll back down, have the EMA ribbon flip to orangish red. And then we know that, hey, the big bull market is underway. And it'll be very fast. This happened in the span from October 2020 all the way until February of 2021. It was really a span of four months to 6 months of just mania, just going up. Coins going up 10x in a matter of 4 months. That's how quick things can change. So don't get shaken out right now. Then we have the total crypto market cap. So the total crypto market cap right now is sitting on the 200 moving average. The 50 move. No, yeah, it's the 200 moving average. We're sitting there as support right now. And then let's go to the weekly chart. So the weekly chart, we've already touched the breakdown of this low to this high. We broke down from the 786 and came down with a wick to touch that 1618 breakdown extension. We do have the 50 moving average curling back up. So I believe our downside is limited to that 50 moving average at the very least. So if we were to keep rolling over here or have another correction, I believe it would be just like a shakeout, kind of retest the bottom lows again. And that would probably be a huge second chance to buy the dip if we revisit these lows down here, because I believe that we're at the moment where we're going to start to see everything that I showed you as far as these charts rolling over, which is macro bullish for cryptos at large. So yeah, where we're at there makes sense. And then we can even draw trend lines. This has been acting as support, these wicks. So from April support to May support to June support. And then we really need to come back up and break above that 786 here again. Get above the $1.06 trillion mark. Be really solid in my book, getting back above there. We don't want to hang below here for a while. So let's go to the 6 week chart and see how that's panning out. Yeah, if we can just get above this EMA ribbon. So we were so close to doing it back a little bit ago. We had the wick come up. We couldn't stay above. We rolled over. So we do have a substantial correction though. This 786 is sitting right here. So let's go to the 10-day chart. Take a look at it. Yeah, definitely getting above this 50 moving average on the 10-day chart would be beautiful because we'd get above the 50 moving average. We get above the super guppy here. That would really take us above those key resistance levels that we couldn't get above before. And then also as well, I'm sure the 786 is there from this high and say this is the low. Yeah, we'd have the 786 there. Maybe we pull down a little bit lower to the actual 786. Then that would be in conjunction with it. So definitely want to see that break up. Let's see the momentum on the total crypto market cap. Right now, it does show that we're at this zero line in the TSI and we're starting to cross down. I love to see this in the sense of we want to see this be a fake cross down to then rip up, because these type of moves are huge moves what comes after. And it, to me, looks very comparative to back here. And I really believe that the market is in the midst of like the August, September-ish time frame of 2020, right? It's the calm before the storm. So that's where I believe that we're at. We're doing something similar like this. We'll have to see how that pans out. This week's going to be a very critical week as far as that goes. We could have one more flush out, scare everybody out, but I think that would be an immense buying opportunity. And so then this is the total three, so the altcoins. So on the weekly chart, we actually just flashed a buy signal. So this is a new indicator for the Stargate VIPs. It's called the SS Star G8. And it's a simple kind of buy and sell strategy. And we just flashed a buy signal for the first time on the altcoin chart. So flashed a buy signal just here the other day, or on May 29th, the first week of June, we flashed a buy signal. We came down to test the 786 of this low to this high up here. So we're right at that 786 right now. Maybe we could pull down, do a double bottom, but I believe that way more opportunity buying right now instead of selling. I believe that most of the sell-off has already occurred. If that's only if there's no like crazy black swan events. Hopefully not that's not the case. But if there is, we'll be shorting BNB if that's the case. We'll be shorting BNB. Also, we actually just flashed a buy signal for that indicator, the SS*G8 indicator on the 1-day chart. We've just flashed the buy and it flashed a sell up here around February 23rd, which nailed that top. And we just flashed the buy. So that's solid. It's good news to see. So I believe that we're very close to the moment and that we'll start to see some clarity in the next few days here on the direction. So then let's go to Bitcoin. Right now it's at 25,824. On the weekly chart, we did pull closely to the 200 moving average here. We actually pull out the index. We actually touch it with the wick here. That's sitting around 25,300, 25,250. That's the area we need to hold as support in the short term. If we break that, we could have a flash crash wick down to 22K, but it would be very quick. I think it would get bought up real quick if that were to be the case. Right now on the 1-day chart, we're at the hot zone as far as a key support level of fib overlaps plus the 200 moving average sitting right here. So 25,350 definitely critical to hold as support. If we break that, we'll visit these fib overlap levels. So you definitely want to see these local lows that we set on Bitcoin for the past week now hold as support. So let me go to the momentum here. We do have the MACD still red though. We still are curling over in the TSI on the 1-day chart. We are showing some bullish divergence in some of these indicators down here. We just need to see a shoot up. We need to see it shoot up. So if we look at the 12-hour chart, we do have the MACD starting to curl in. We do have the TSI trying to curl in as well too. We just need to see that pan out. But for the past 12-hour candles, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them have been pretty solid as far as wicks. We have a lot of wicks in this zone, and we're trying to get out of it. So this could just be a solid retest right now. We have the 786 sitting here around 25,774. So at the very least, short term, micro level, we want to hold that. But let's go down to a 4-hour. And right now we do have a trend line coming up like this. So if we do roll over, we're going to come test this 786 from low to high. That would be around 25,575. On the 4-hour chart, we are trying to pick up the momentum. The TSI is crossed up, the MACD is going up, but we need to see a more sustained kind of move here. Right now, it is still a little shaky. So the stock market just opened up. It's 9:37 a.m. Definitely want to get above this key level of 26,000 for sure. 26,000, then ultimately getting back above 26,750, I'll feel much better. But in the very, very micro short term, we definitely want to maintain those key levels and get above 26,100. And then for a medium picture look, we want to get above 26,700. So then Ethereum right now, we're breaking below the 200 moving average on the 5-day chart. We could come down to test 1,629. Potentially even 1,583. We look at the 3-day chart. We do have the momentum headed down here still. We are holding by a thread the super guppy right now. So we really don't want to see us break below 1,700, 1,725 for Ethereum. But if we do, it's likely we're coming down to that 1,630 level. But that's for Ethereum. We're at the key time point, guys. We've been saying June 9th to June 12th for a bit. So we're in the midst of that time point. We have a lot of things happening this week. We covered it in the Discord as far as events. If you have any events that we might have missed, definitely let us know in the Discord. We'll add it to the calendar for the month of June. And if you're not already in the Discord, come join the Discord. The link will be in the bio. But XRP right now at 0.5152. We came back up to the 786, got rejected. It's having some trouble right now. So 0.5263 got rejected. So if we roll over here, we need to hold 0.4997 as support. We could come down a little bit lower, like 0.4950. We definitely need to hold that as support. Because if we don't, we're probably going to come down to around 0.45, 0.46. And that will probably be coinciding with the 786 from this low to this high here. Yep, right, 0.4644, 786 is right there. We could even pull down to the 0.4374 if we do see an event that takes the whole market by surprise again. But right now, definitely 0.4997 is a must hold if we go down to that level. And ideally, we want to see us get above 0.5250, 0.53 again. So we want to get back above there. In the 6 hour chart, we're actually crossed up and the MACD's crossed up, but like this TSI don't look the best. So we need to really get that going up vertical like this with a lot of momentum and the MACD kind of kicking up here and the TSI to have a clean cross up above that zero line. But for the moment, it's a little washy. So the weekly chart, we did close above the 200 moving average on the weekly. We do have the 50 moving average kicking up here. So we do have a lot of support at that 0.41 cent level because of the 50 moving average, because we have the 786 coming up here, because we have 3-day kind of 200 moving average sitting up there as well too. So we do have a lot of support down below. And at this point, it would be a blessing to see XRP below 40 cents, I would believe. If that was the case, XRP going back below 40 cents, I'm dumping most of my portfolio into it. But right now, it does seem that like the floor for XRP is like at most 0.44 cent, 0.44. So hopefully we actually do come down to there. I would love another entry point. But right now, we do have some more short-term support like 0.5050, 0.5150, 0.4950, and like we need to get above 0.5250 and then ultimately 0.5450. We get above there, we're going to start ripping and roaring and have some other key charts that I'm going to share in a follow-up update on XRP specifically that will cover if we're at the moment or not. And like if it's time to back up the truck and go all in. So definitely leave a comment and a like if you're excited for that video. I'm going to cover some key things that I don't think anybody has shared yet. So we're going to go through and run through all like the bullish factors of XRP and kind of why we think we're about to see a big boom here soon. So then let's go to XLM to finish it off. We're still at that 786 level from this low to this high. We touched it as support. We could roll right back down to it, hold it as support again. But XLM at 8 cents is literally a steal, So I want to see it hold that around 8 cents if we pull back down, and ultimately want to see XLM get back above 0.095, 9.5 cents, and then really above 10.5 cents. We'll really get this thing rattling up to like 18 cents. So that's where we need to get above there. On the weekly chart though, for the stock RSI, we've cooled off. So we're at this moment where this is what we see for XLM, these cycles of going up, down once, up again, and then down, going up, down once, up again, then down. Then we've already had our kick up moment right here, The next step is coming down like this, which we already did. It's really just a week of flat, and then we kick up again. So what I believe is we could be at maybe going down a little bit more this week, then a week of flat, and then July, the fireworks start to kick in. That could be the case, or it could happen sooner than later. Maybe we go flat now, and then for this week, and then next week we start to kick up. But we're at the bottom. We're very much at the bottom of any more substantial sell-off, I believe, in my opinion. We have a lot of things lining up, like this pattern playing out. Let's see what the time analysis on this is too. So like we started to kick up in July here as well. So July to then December, 161 days. Then from here to where we're at now, 175 days. And I didn't grab this exact, but we're going through the cycles right now. And XLM does seem to be very, very close to bottoming along with the rest of the market. So I'm going to take a very good look today at all the altcoins, see what got hammered, see which has staying power for sure, and see kind of what our strong coins have been. And maybe we start to stack up on some of these one that's been hammered, because if they're not going anywhere, we can take advantage of their low prices right now with some of our coins that have held up pretty nicely. and then ride them back up on a strong bounce, convert back into the other coin. So we're going to be watching that. Then this is Stellar on the 3-day chart. Yeah, we've touched the breakdown of the 1618 of this micro move as well too. From this low to this high, we broke down from 786, came down to the 1618. So I think we're very much close to that bottom. And this is what we see. This is what we see, man. So yeah, we're at the tail end of it. I know it's tough, but stick to the course, maintain through, because after these next couple of weeks here, the sun's going to shine bright, in my opinion. I believe we're going to have a shiny summer, and I believe, we're very close to the bottom here. So definitely keep on the course. Take a look at these macro key charts during these times. Don't be on the 5-minute chart, the 10-minute chart. Really zoom out and see where we're at as far as the bigger picture here and the bigger key levels. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the Discord and in the next video.